Airbnb hosting for beginners. Are you interested in this multi-billion-dollar short-term rental business? Have you stayed in an Airbnb and thought, I could do this business? Well, I literally make lots and lots of money doing the Airbnb business. I love it. It's fun. It comes with a few risks that we're going to talk about so that you can do it too.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. You gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I literally wrote the book on Airbnb. And in this video, I'm gonna break down some of the best information from this book so that you can get started today. Airbnb is an amazing platform that has allowed home sharing to go to an entire business. Literally, Airbnb started with people just renting out a mattress or renting out a room or spare space that they had in their home. And now today, people have made entire businesses like Noel around this platform. And it's even grown with apps, not just Airbnb, but other sites like Booking.com, Expedia, Vacation Rental by Owner, and other short-term rental sites has really made this business very profitable and a business that is very sustainable year after year after year. However, many people jump into this business and they don't really get much information, so you are on the right track by watching this video. So let me tell you some important things that you need to know for your Airbnb hosting. So the first thing that you want to do is set up an actual business. Before you go and put your properties on Airbnb or anything like that, I strongly recommend, again, this is optional, but I recommend you actually setting up a business, meaning you get your business registered with the Secretary of State. Maybe you name it and you get an LLC or corporation registered with the Secretary of State. You get an EIN, you get a website so that you actually have a real business that you can borrow money for. The reason that you want to do this and set up a real business is because then you can get business credit and business funding, and this will help take your Airbnb business to the next level and help you graduate from just doing Airbnb to also doing corporate housing. I'll get to that in a second. Step 2, do your research. So the first thing that you want to do before you list your properties, of course, is start planning. You want to just go to the Airbnb website. You literally, if you want to be a host, you should already have your own profile set up on Airbnb. In fact, I even suggest that you stay in other people's Airbnb to see how they're running their business before you ever launch your first property. This is something that I recommend because I've seen so many people be successful in this business, but I've seen just as many people fail. And the number one reason most people fail is because they fail to plan. So if you do your research and you go see other people's properties, you stay in them, you see the messages, you see how they set the property up, this gives you a hands-on idea of exactly what you should copy. You can copy the things that they did successfully, and you can make sure that you don't do the things that they did wrong. This gives you a great perspective, and this is truly the next best step for starting your business. Number 2, set up. So once you stayed at properties, you set up your business again, which was optional. You can just do a DBA if you want to. You literally can just start your business. You can set your business up and you can put your properties on the Airbnb website. Once you have a profile, you can easily, again, create that for free and become a host. There is no college degree that's required or no special credit check. They have some things built in just to make sure that you're not like a felon and things like that. That's some of the new technology that's behind the Airbnb site. I can't tell you what's behind it, but I have seen some people declined as a host, and I suspect that it's some things in public records, and maybe they have a felony or something to that effect. But I've seen this very, very rarely, and most people that want to do Airbnb, as long as it is legal in that area, their property is usually approved. So you can get your property listed onto Airbnb fairly easily. Once you get your profile set up on Airbnb, you will have to verify your identity by uploading your driver's license and things like that, and actually affirm that you have the authority to put that property on Airbnb. It's so important. There literally were scams where people were just putting other people's properties that they didn't own and collecting money and all kind of foolishness. So the technology has improved, and you do actually have to verify you're not a bot and that you do have authorization to really do this property on Airbnb. But this is an amazing thing because you don't actually have to own a property to be an Airbnb host. You literally can host other people's properties, and if you want, that can be an entire business that you do. You can find landlords that no longer want to rent to different tenants, and you can rent those properties from them, and then you can put those properties on Airbnb so long as you get language in the lease that allows you to do that. This way you could have a portfolio of Airbnb properties without actually having to own any of them. I'm trying to get to 1 million subscribers and I need your help. Subscribe to my channel and help me get to 1 million. Let's go. Number 3, operations. So once you have your property all set up on Airbnb, again, you listed the address, you put the description, you put pictures, again, photos being very important in your listing, you then need to get into the operations. How are you going to message guests? The reason that this is such a popular business is because for the most part, you actually can run most of the business from your phone. You can message guests directly from your phone. You can check people in directly from your phone by giving them the code to the door. You can actually even have cameras set outside so you can see when they arrive at your property. And in many cases, you do not have to be there to let them in or anything like that. And again, that's one of the benefits and the reasons why people like staying at Airbnb properties, because they can check in whenever they want to. For example, if they're driving to Florida, I have rental properties in Florida. If they're driving from Texas, if they get in at 2 o'clock in the morning, they don't have to meet anybody. They literally have the code right there on their phone. They can check in. I have cameras and doorbell cameras at my properties, and I can see when they checked in. Another amazing thing that you can do with the operations of the business is automate things. You literally can automate to send them a greeting, one day after they checked in, or at 9 p.m. on the night before they check out, to remind them of what your processes are for cleaning up and checking out. You literally can automate so much of the messaging and the guest communication. This is one of the reasons why so many people like having an Airbnb business, because it is a business, again, you can run mostly from your phone, and all of the communication I recommend should be done through the apps. Last but not least, maintenance. Airbnb is an amazing business, but it's actually hospitality combined with property management. Like I said, when you're messaging guests, making sure they have the right towels and that the beds were made and that the cleaning team did what they needed to do, that's hospitality, making sure that they feel like they're taken care of, and messaging them, greeting them, hey, I hope you have a great stay. Please let me know if you need anything, etc., etc. But then there's property maintenance. You have to make sure that you are changing out the towels and the sheets and the plates, and you're taking inventory of what's inside of your property. This should have been done, though, in your planning phase. You should have been able to make sure you know how many plates, how many forks, how many towels, you have extra sheets. Basically, all of the things that you put into the property, you want to make sure that you know how many you have so that you can keep track and you can buy more, or you can charge the guests if they destroy things. For example, if I know that I have 10 plates and then they check out and there's 8, I know I can charge that guest for those 2 broken plates. But if I'm not maintaining my property, I'm not keeping track of my inventory, then my business is probably going to fail. People are going to be breaking things, and I'm not going to be compensated for it. Keeping track and maintaining the property is a very easy thing to do, and most people think that it's probably going to be a lot of work, but quite frankly, because people do shorter stays, 3 days, 4 days, you're actually able to be inside of your properties a lot more often than you are with a long-term tenant. A lot of times if you have a property and there's a long-term tenant, you don't see that property for an entire year. But with Airbnb, you get to go inside of the property as soon as someone checks out and go look to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be and that nothing is broken. And just like a hotel, if it is, you get to call the company, Airbnb. There's an insurance policy and things like that to protect you in your business. And again, you can charge the guests for anything that they damage or break. I have written this book, the book on Airbnb, and I want you to have it absolutely free. Go to Noelle's BnBsecrets.com to get my book, B&B Millionaire Secrets. It's absolutely free. You just cover the shipping. This book has a full breakdown on the entire business, whether you're a beginner, you're intermediate, or you're advanced. I have been in this business for over 5 years, and I have literally made hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars with my Airbnb properties over the 5 years. Actually, I know it's been millions, and then all of these different states. And now I've helped so many students. And again, you can get this book and this information is right here for you. Go to Noelle's BnBsecrets.com. That's Noelle, Noelle with an S, BnB Secrets, SECRETS.com. Absolutely free. You just cover the shipping. I just want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success.